What's good? What's good? What's good, friends? Thank you guys for hanging with us. The Voice of the Fans podcast. This is your man Cam. I got my man Cleveland. Cleveland, what you got thermals on under that sweatshirt?
No, just a sweatshirt.
Just a sweatshirt. Because I think our high has been this week up in the 39. Cleveland has been the high. Did it crack 40 at all? Or where you're at?
Don't think so. Low's been as low as 19. So yeah, it's cool.
Whew. We got a long way ahead of those fans. Thank you guys for tuning in though to the Voice of the Fans podcast. This is your man Cam once again. It is week 327 of this iteration of the Voice of the Fans podcast. I'm on location. Cleveland's chilling at home. Cleveland, I know it's cold right outside. Right outside this big picture window, it's ice. It's an ice box. But we got a lot to talk to you guys about. We had the Super Bowl went down. Cleveland, are you questioning Patrick Mahomes' viability for the top spot in the QB genre, Cleveland? After that dud he threw out there on Sunday?
He made some mistakes, but he's got the hardware to back it up. No, we're not throwing him out with the bathwater just yet.
Okay. We're going to talk about the Super Bowl fans. We got some NBA to talk about. See how Cleveland's feeling about his two-headed monster down there. And Eddie, what are you guys doing for a center? You know that trade got rescinded. Adam Silver stepped up and said, "No, we're not going for that."
Yeah, the medicals came back suspect, so we had to go and get a quick replacement, kind of a stopgap for the rest of the year, and we'll go from there.
And Anthony Lynn,
Alex Lane, but yes,
Alex Lynn.
Yeah.
Cleveland, with it being February 12th, 2025, week 327. We're going to look at the number 12 and 27 today. When you think of the number 12, who wore that jersey number the best, or who come to your mind first?
I was thinking, Cam, who comes to mind first is my, second favorite point guard, Kenny Anderson, when he was at Georgia Tech, wore it quite nicely. But who wore it the best is clearly the GOAT, TB12.
TB12, Jim Kelly, Terry Bradshaw.
I'm so sorry, Tom Brady, the
Terry Bradshaw,
the one with the 7 Super Bowl rings.
And when you think of the number 27, who comes to your mind first?
Who comes to mind first is Jamal Murray, because he's the most important person in the NBA right now. Who wore it the best is probably Vladimir Guerrero, because not only his own career, but he's spawned the career of Vlad Jr., who is a beast in his own right. So double dip there.
Cleveland, it took 2 seasons for your Georgia Bulldogs, Georgia North, to pay off for the Philadelphia Eagles. Davis, Carter, and those boys just absolutely punked the Kansas City Chiefs. Absolutely punked them from the first snap of the game. Absolutely punked them from the first snap of the game. The penalty, I kind of thought the penalty could go either way, but it went against, obviously, the Eagles. The next time they came down to score. Like, all right, we're not going to let that stop you. And Kansas City, they put so much pressure on them, 1, 2, 3, and they were out. The 3 and outs killed them, Cleveland. How did you see that game, and what surprised you most about that game?
Well, Cameron, I knew from the onset that it was going to go that way. When I saw the listen. When I saw the Philadelphia Eagles walk out, I told everybody in the room, I'll take the Eagles -7.
How come I didn't get?
I
I
will
didn't.
give
Get,
you.
you
I
didn't
will
call
give
me
you
on the. You didn't call me on none of
They
that
were
action.
they were a 1 point underdog. I said I will give you 7 points. They just looked so focused and determined and so ready to do damage and harm at people when they walked out on the field that I knew it was definitely going to tilt their way. And when Kansas City didn't give them any resistance and didn't make Jalen Hurts have to think too hard, it just snowballed. And like you said, that D line was just collapsing Kansas City's offensive line over and over and over again, giving Mahomes no time to make decisions. And you saw all of the things that we had talked about over the season. They just came to fruition.
No, yeah, they the Philadelphia Eagles defensive line dominated the game. And the game plan, I would have had the same game plan going against the Eagles. Stop Saquon Barkley and allow Jalen Hurts to beat you. Now, when I say allow to beat you, you can't defend everything, but I would slow down Saquon Barkley. And then if he can throw some dimes, if he can throw some passes, we have to tip our hat to him and say, "You beat us today." And that's what Jalen Hurts beat him the other day. And people's gonna elevate him, and with this Super Bowl now he becomes, um, you know, it cements his history, cements his name and legacy. Let's settle down now. Let's settle down now. It was a great victory. The team allowed you to do that. The second now, can you? The pressure's on you now. Can you do that again? I'm sorry, that's how I see it, Jalen Hurts. Can you do that again? Because the team definitely game planned against Saquon Barkley. He ran the ball for 2.2 yards a carry. Definitely that was the game plan, and just gang up on the run. And if he can beat us going deep, we'll tip our cap to him and say good day. That's what happened, and he beat them deep early, and they just couldn't stop it. They couldn't get anything going. To my surprise, but they couldn't get anything going because that defensive line was just beating up their offensive line. It was they just beat them up. So it was like they could never get anything going from the first quarter to the third into the third quarter when they took their starters out. It was an absolute beatdown, and one that I was very surprised about. Um, was this the most? Where did this rank in the most dominant era of Super Bowl defenses in the Super Bowl era, Cleveland? Is this up there with the way that defensive line played? I mean, they were reminiscent. They obviously were in the same green and silver. But that was reminiscent of what Reggie White and what's my man name Brown? Shoot, not Reggie Brown.
Yeah, so you're talking about the Buddy Ryan coach defense. That was Reggie White and Clyde Simmons,
Clive Simmons.
Earl Brown, Mike Golick.
Yeah, it was. I mean, the way they dominated this, dom- they kind of carried that offense too. But the way they dominated that game, they dominated the Kansas City Chiefs, the back-to-back two-time defending champions. This wasn't your grandpa's Kansas City Chiefs. But what do you think of? Was this? Where do you rank this game as the most dominant in the Super Bowl era? Is it with those Ravens,
In the Super Bowl era, I would put it.
Ravens, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Seattle Seahawks? Is it in those defensive in that caliber?
Yes, it's right below those. Yeah.
You have it four. I didn't mention the 93 Cowboys, or 94. Which one did your guy Dion play on? 95 Cowboys. I didn't
No,
mention
yeah,
them. I
92,
didn't.
93, they both were what 52 to 19, and I think they were both the same score, weren't they?
But it was kind of again once their offense put pressure on you and you have to score. That's kind of what they did to Kansas City Chiefs the other day, and they forced them. Either you can keep up or you can't, and they could. The Kansas City Chiefs, to everybody's surprise, could not keep up. But yeah, that was there was a couple beatdowns, but their defense, I think their defense probably was better with Dion. That was probably their better defense. Would you say or no?
Well,
Uh,
anytime Dion's on your defense, it's a better defense for
oh
sure.
well, maybe not. Maybe not the way you hesitated there.
No, there was no hesitation.
Yeah, I mean, it shouldn't even. I thought it wouldn't even. excuse me, be a conversation. Um, so was that just superior Eagles or just bad Chiefs? How'd you see that game?
I saw it as being superior Eagles, like we have said on the show leading up to it. Um, Other than the fact that people were reluctant to bet against Patrick Mahomes, and rightfully so. I got a pound of ribs coming from it. But what they were able to do, and what we were saying was that in every other facet of the game, Philadelphia is better. We said we came down to kicking and quarterback, and we said that if you let Jalen Hurts keep the game simple, good things can happen. So yeah, the defense dominated, the offensive line dominated as well. Give it up to the Kansas City Chiefs defense for holding Saquon Barkley in check, because that was the other thing. That was the surprising part of it. It wasn't just so much that the defense won or dominated, but rather the Philadelphia Eagles won without Saquon having a very big game. So they were able to do other things. Clearly, he drew a lot of attention, opening up other players to make plays, but at the same time, without giving too much credit to Patrick Mahomes, which is kind of like, I think, the only reason people were thinking that Kansas City had a chance to win. We just saw it all come, full circle. The better team won, without question. What's up, Barry?
What's good, Barry? Give us the whole link to your highlight show. I'll post the whole link. Give me the whole link, Barry. What's good? Nice to hear from you. Show me the URL, Barry. I'll show it on the air. Um, they outplayed them. They was out coached. They were out schemes. It was an ugly it was an ugly start for your Kansas City Chiefs. Does it were we too? We didn't talk dynasty a lot on this show. I know that for sure. But there was a lot of talk in the air about this being a dynasty. Was Were people too quick on that assessment?
No, they are a dynasty. They went to 3 straight Super Bowls. How that's so rare to do. I mean, I think only 4 teams have ever done it. So, yeah, they're a dynasty.
So obviously, this knocks him on pace. He didn't. He wasn't. The Kansas City Chiefs were not able to win the three-peat, so that goes unchallenged. Um, Unlike we've seen in the NFL history. Um, how what kind of hit does this take Patrick Mahomes take on the second Super Bowl loss? I mean, much like the same way with him running around not able to capitalize in the plays. Do you think Patrick Mahomes takes a hit in the Super Bowl loss?
I don't think so. I mean, he was running for his life most of the game. Perhaps not perhaps. He made some errant throws, kind of out of desperation, just trying to make a play, and it completely totally backfired on him. I mean, his first half stats, wow. I couldn't even believe my eyes. I think it was like 24 yards and like 2 interceptions. It was super crazy. But what
At
I think,
halftime, that was those halftime stats.
yeah, and what I think that we're seeing here is that you can't just continue to lose weapons and continue to just suffer attrition and think that everything is just going to stay the same just because you're there. You see that he's only one man, a great man, but he needs other things around him.
Like Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
No, they do not need him.
I mean, they just had a bad game plan. They were outcoached. They were outcoached from kickoff, and like I started off the show, it just really shows that picking up Carter at number 9 he fell to, right?
Yeah, but I mean, you don't make them seem like geniuses. Everyone passed on him for a reason. There were major red flags. I mean, he killed a person. So,
Well, he personally didn't kill. He didn't.
he was involved in an incident where somebody died.
Come on, now you put a lot on.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't drag racing and somebody died. He didn't handle it well, and the combine didn't do a lot for him. So yeah, that's why he fell. Obviously, the best version of Jalen Carter, yeah, you would take him in a heartbeat. Do you want the worst version of Jalen Carter? Yeah, not so much. That's why everybody passed on it. I mean, you see, this is not a nice person. He's a mean dude by anybody's assessment. So you don't necessarily want that dude walking around in your locker room unless you think you can handle him.
And with the proper what did they have? The proper coaching?
They had a bunch of Georgia players that were familiar with him and kind of knew how to handle him. So that kind of made it a little bit of an easier transition, like you just said earlier, right?
I mean, you're sitting here telling me what a terrible dude this is, but if you can, it sounds like
he's not a nice man. That's clearly evident. But if you can harness that and get the full production of Jalen Carter on the field, well, yeah, you have lightning in a bottle. You have an Aaron Donald, Reggie White type wreck the game type of guy.
So the 2023 draft, it goes Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, Will Anderson, Anthony Richardson, Devin Witherspoon, Paris Johnson, Tyrese Wilson, and the Eagles with Jaden Carter at number 9. The Falcons, Raiders, Cardinals, Seahawks, Colts, Texans twice, and the Panthers all passed on them. Do you think they regret that today?
3 teams took a quarterback. They don't regret it. The Seahawks took a 2-time Pro Bowl corner. It's not quite as dominant as perhaps a generational defensive tackle like Jalen Carter, but I don't think that they're sitting like, man, we should have done that. There were too many, like I said, red flags with regards to him. Can you get the best out of him? Perhaps, but if you don't, then you get the worst out of him, and that's even worse.
Has Jalen Hurts changed the perception of mobile quarterbacks?
No.
You don't think no one looks at Jalen Hurts and says, if we get one of those guys?
No. Mm-mm.
Oh, wow. That's cool. Well, hold on. Jalen Hurts or Geno Smith?
Oh, Jalen Hurts.
Are you sure? You almost said Geno right there.
No, I didn't. Not even for a second.
But you're not so impressed with Jalen Hurts. Is that what I should take it by your response there?
Keep the game simple for him. Absolutely. If you can have the threat of Saquon busting 60 yards and you have a Heisman Trophy winner on one side, A.J. Brown on the other side, the most dominant offensive line in football, and a great catching tight end in Goddard, yeah, keep the game simple for him, play with a lead. Yeah, he's good at that.
Oh, but just don't get behind by 14 points.
No, you don't want that guy if you're behind by 14 points. No.
I mean, I don't recall you being so harsh on a Super Bowl MVP.
I'm not being hard on him. You asked the question like, is he? I already said I would take him over Geno Smith in a heartbeat.
Well, Geno Smith is middle of the pack quarterback.
Okay.
So
Jalen Hurts is top.
So would you take him ahead of Joe Burrow? I mean, Joe Burrow team didn't even make the playoff this year. Why not?
I'm not taking any quarterback over Joe Burrow. You already know that.
Would you take him over? Let me see who was out there on the same play. Him or Russell? Jalen Hurts or Russell Wilson?
Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts or Josh Allen?
Josh Allen.
So where is Jalen Hurts? Who is Jalen Hurts ahead of? He's ahead. Is it Jalen Hurts or Bo Nix?
Jalen Hurts.
You said that begrudgingly.
No, not really.
Did Hurts or Sweat deserve that MVP, or should there be a dual MVP?
No, it should have been the quarterback that took them to the Super Bowl, that took them to the championship. Yeah, it should have been Jalen. I don't think there's any question about that.
But the Chiefs' defense, I mean, the Eagles' defense had them scoreless on their first 9 drives.
That's great, but that's a collective effort, and the person that really was, paramount in winning the game was Jalen Hurts.
So, did you hear the stat that Devontae Smith, become the 5th player to win a Heisman, a college football ring, and a Super Bowl, college football championship, and a Super Bowl? Did you hear that?
Wow, that's an interesting stat. No, I didn't know that.
4 other players have done that. Win a Heisman, win a college football
national
championship,
in the Super Bowl.
In a Super Bowl. Can you name the 4?
Wow, that would probably split my brain apart. I probably
not really.
It would take me some time.
To what? Okay, let's narrow it down. Who's won a Heisman and who won a college football championship?
Lots of people have done that.
Who's also won a Super Bowl though?
That's the caveat. Yeah, that makes it hard, Cameron. There's 60 Super Bowls, so yeah. Does Joe Namath do it?
No, he didn't win a ring. He didn't win a ring in college. He didn't win a college championship.
Did Mark Ingram do it?
The running back? No. Okay. So, one more name and I'll tell you. You know all these guys.
Yeah, they're pretty prominent.
Yeah, you know all these guys.
And the Super Bowl.
Win the Super Bowl. Win the college football championship. And win the Heisman.
Charles Woodson, one of them?
Charles Woodson is one of them.
Okay.
There's one after Charles Woodson and these other 2 guys. You know who you know. They're before Charles Wilson, but you know who they are. You know these guys.
Quarterback.
Won a Heisman, college football championship.
I'm at a loss, my dude. Who are they?
Your guy Reggie Bush,
Okay.
Marcus Allen,
Okay.
and Tony Dorsett.
Wow.
Yeah, he becomes the
Three running
fifth string. Huh?
backs. Three running backs. Interesting.
Yeah. Speaking of running backs, did Saquon change? Did this season for some of those people who think that running backs were down, running back season were down? Did Saquon and Derrick Henry together change the need or the impact of a running game, a strong running game?
I think it just emphasized the success you can have with the strong running game. So perhaps they will look at that position a little bit differently. Does it like accelerate the amount of money that running backs are going to make because those two were good? I don't think so. They rushed for 1,900 and 2,000 yards, which is incredibly difficult to do. And so when you look at the narrative, it's not a plug and play kind of situation. So I think other running backs can kind of get a little bit.
It's not a plug and play, you said? So how come Saquon was able to? The Eagles were able to plug and play.
It's not a plug and play. He ran for 2,000 yards. That's what I just said. If your running backs run for 2,000 and 1,900 yards, it doesn't mean like, ooh, we need to go get us a Saquon. It's just not that. It's just that's not a thing.
So you don't look for a running back who can get you those extra yardage.
That's an unrealistic expectation. You look for a running back that can, kind of sustain the run and kind of be productive. But if you're looking for a home run 2,000-yard hitter, hard to do. It's only been 9 people ever to do it.
Do you have are the Chiefs going to suffer a Super Bowl hangover? Do you have them suffer?
Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff going on. You saw it. It's just, Travis Kelce's getting old. That running game is not very explosive. The receivers are, I don't want to call them pedestrian, but Xavier Word fast. Sure-handed DeAndre's out there dropping stuff. Like the moment was too big for him. Hollywood Brown had a few.
You saw that, huh?
Yeah. Hollywood Brown had a few catches, but so what? They're clearly missing. Now is when you're like, oh, sure, wish we had a Tyreek. You
were right. You were right.
Without him, it's fine. But then when you kind of like see, okay, well, we don't really have anybody to throw the ball to other than Travis Kelce, it becomes a problem. Andy Reid is, on his last legs. I mean,
now he's on his last leg.
He already said he committed to coaching next year. You don't think that dude's tired of coaching at this point?
No, they got to defend their title, but
their AFC championship.
I mean, no. Well, they got to regain their title. Yeah, at least give it a shot. So I would expect most of them to come back. I would expect Kelce to spend less time on the road and get better shape. I mean, 3 months is a long time, but who knows if he wants to do it, if he wants to do all that. I don't know. Were they exposed? Are you saying they exposed the Eagles exposed them so the Mahomes won't be Mahomes anymore?
They had been exposed all year. The Eagles just took advantage of it. I mean, they were winning games in very dramatic fashion all season long and not by a very wide margin. And then they finally just came up against a team that was much more physical than them, and they were able to take advantage of the things that the Kansas City Chiefs were deficient at.
Well, that can the Chiefs get back there next year, or was the blueprint laid out? Do you think?
I don't think there was a blueprint laid out, because a lot of times, just because a team has success, when you say blueprint, it means it's like replicatable.
Right.
And a lot of times it's not. No other team has the talent or the skill set to do to the Chiefs what the Philadelphia Eagles did.
Well, it is a copycat league, so you don't think they're going to get that?
No, I don't think you can copycat Jalen Carter and a really dominant line. I really don't think you can, copycat Becton at right guard. Yeah,
but you just gave up on Becton.
They did.
They did. What happened there? And so I was
in that room.
I was in an argument with these guys, and they're telling me, no, offensive linemen, they're so rare, you can't find them, blah, 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 blah. I was like, well, good coaching is going to work. It was an interesting conversation. Give me 1 second. Yeah, I was telling them how much coaching matters, and I can hear you in the background. Like, I can see you rolling your eyes. But that's what they took a guy who was off the scrap heaps, and he won a Super Bowl a couple years later. Did you not see it? Did you not see that happen?
It's a great big dude. He moved positions without nearly the responsibility of a tackle, and he's flourished in that system with other great big giants around him. I mean, their offensive line is 6'6" to 350 pounds average.
And he the biggest of them all?
I don't think so. I think the guy from the New Zealand guy is the biggest.
Yeah, that's crazy. Either way, man, the Eagles, do you expect the Eagles? They were there too. I mean, they were there 2 of the last 3 years, right? Do you see another Super Bowl run for the Eagles?
No.
Wait, hold on. You were just telling me how good Hurts was, how amazing he was. Weren't you telling me that they got Saquon, and weren't you telling me how great he was?
He was, it all came together. It was a beautiful, magical season. I don't think they're going to continue to do that now.
What is preventing the Eagles from repeating? Since you want to take that stance.
Well, they're losing their offensive coordinator. Now that they've been there, they're going to be the hunted. It's way different. And again, teams understand that you do have to put pressure on them. So you do take away the running game if you're down, and you make the game more complicated for Jalen Hurts than just QB draws.
What did you think of Kendrick Lamar? Okay, you mentioned. Excuse me. Before we get to Kendrick Lamar, you mentioned Kellen Moore is going to the Saints. Good decision. Would you stay or would you go?
I think you always have to go if you can become a head coach. I think those chances come up. I mean, I guess they actually come up like 8 times a year, but at the same time, I mean, if you're the front runner and they want you, yeah, it's when they call your name, you got to go.
Do you like the fit there? What do you think Kellen Moore is going to do?
No, it's not. He's not going to bring the same winning formula to New Orleans. No, all kinds of problems over there. Most notably, salary cap issues. So,
I mean, but he's gonna get he got the complexion for the protection where he's gonna get a reprieve and or get, you know, 3 years to work it out, and so he get rehired somewhere else, or he get to stay 6 years and see what he can do. I don't know. Do you expect anything? I mean, out
no,
of the
I don't expect anything from the Saints next year.
but they played with the Atlanta Falcons and the Carolina Panthers and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You expect right now, as of today, you expect Baker to win that division again,
Yes.
or Penix, the rookie? I mean,
I
he's not a
expect
rookie.
I expect Baker to win it. We'll see if Penix can make the difference.
Where should your boy Aaron Rodgers go next year? Apparently, the Jets. Like, we're not. We have a set of demands of our own. Either
Yeah, Aaron
you gotta
Rodgers.
be.
Aaron Rodgers should go home. He should go out to whatever retreat that he likes to go on. I think that's probably the best place for him.
Oh, you wait, you're sitting there packing? Weren't you the one defending him last year? He's a 4-time MVP and
It's true.
all this and that, and you were expecting the Super Bowl run. You guys won how many more games than the year before where he didn't play at all? How many more games? One. So he accounted for one win, one stinking measly win, huh? That's all he account for.
Hey man, it's probably time to hang it up.
That's funny. You should say that. Go do some all the ayahuasca he wants, huh?
Absolutely.
What's your thoughts on Dak saying the Cowboys they're close to winning? They competed with the Eagles when they played them, and they competed with the Commanders as well. So he thinks they can compete and they're close. What do you think? Albeit the Eagles beat them by a combined 70 points this year. What do you think about that?
Gotta love the confidence. Hopefully he's healthy enough to back up his words, because without him and some type of semblance of a running game, that's not really a possibility. But if they can shore up those two things, I mean, take your chances.
What's your thoughts on Steve Smith? Blasting Cam Newton for calling the Panthers losers before he got there.
Don't really understand. Steve Smith's kind of a hothead. Don't really understand why he took it so personal, because they were 1-15 before Cam got there, so they weren't winners. I don't understand why everybody is so upset about this comment. I mean, and you have which is very rare. You have a prima donna quarterback. You can probably name the amount of prima donna quarterbacks on like one hand, but he's definitely at the top of that list. And so why would you be surprised that he said that?
Well, I'm not surprised that he said that. And
why would you even take offense to it? And part of it is really actually true.
Because he played on that team. Now, what was their record? They went 1-15. Yes, obviously to be able to draft Cam. What was the record before that? They weren't a 1-15 consecutively. Losers like Detroit Lions were losers years past. No, they weren't those type of losers.
Their record for the 5 years prior to that, but they were 1-15 when they drafted the Heisman Trophy winning national champion.
Yeah, and I get you. I get all that. I get it. I do. I get all that. And I get where he's coming from. He's like, I was number one. You guys had to be. Went to the worst team. No. I get why he's saying that, but I kind of get why Steve Smith was taking offense to that. He was on those teams, and he was on those teams, and he's not
losers, and he was a loser.
Ooh, see, I don't know if he's buying that.
Oh, so they weren't losers? So they didn't go 1-15?
They were 12-4 2 years ago. 2 years prior. They're 2 years prior. They were 12. Excuse me. Let me take that back. I'll take that back. I'm sorry. They went 2-14. That was 2001 when they went 1-15. I don't think Steve Smith was on that team. In fact, I'm almost certain he wasn't on that team in 2001. Um, I not resent the fact, but I understand why Steve Smith would be upset. Like, what are you talking about? Chris Winkie was the quarterback of that 1-15 squad.
Yeah, I think you're looking at the wrong times. Because
different time.
they did get to the Super Bowl with Jake Delhomme, and
Mhm.
they did get to the NFC Championship in 05. But Cam was drafted in like what 11?
11. Yeah, I think it was 11. Yeah.
Okay, so Steve Smith was the MVP of the league in 05. So yeah, no, not a loser then, but the seasons that led up to them getting an opportunity to draft Cam Newton, they were losers.
Oh, wow, boy! I tell you what, you get one Super Bowl win under your belt, and these Seahawks fans that get so arrogant and uppity. Everybody, so if you haven't won a Super Bowl ever, you're a loser. Is that how you break it down?
If you're 1-15, you have a losing culture, and you're a bunch of losers.
But just earlier, he won the league's MVP. So obviously there was something going on there.
Okay.
So you want to call the league's MVP a loser? Is basically what you're doing now.
6 years later.
Call him a loser. That wasn't me, Steve. I didn't say that. I got your back. What do you think about Sterling Sharp getting inducted to the NFL Hall of Fame? Are you familiar with Sterling Sharp? Have you seen his work?
I don't know if it's Hall of Fame worthy, but
Oh, here we go.
not just super duper mad at it.
Here we go. You got a problem with Sterling Sharp getting into the Hall of Fame?
Yeah, there's a reason he wasn't in before. I mean, I don't have a problem with it. I mean, they had to let somebody in, and
So you're not familiar with his work. So is that fair to say?
I'm tremendously familiar with this work.
Well, if that's the case, how can you? I mean, what are you questioning? See, Sterling Sharp was a top two. The argument when he was playing was he better than Jerry Rice? That was a legit argument.
For how many years?
3-4 years.
Okay. That's what I'm saying. 3 or 4 years.
My goodness.
Body work extensive. I mean, for you, like, oh, he balled out 2-3 years. That's not a Hall of Famer to me. That's like a really good player that deserves a lot of credit, deserves his, perhaps his number and all that. But Hall of Fame, a yellow jacket?
Sterling Sharp? If I look up Sterling Sharp's numbers right now, Cleveland, you'd be amazed.
No,
I'm not sure you're familiar with his work.
You would be amazed that he's not.
He was an all 90s team. Him and Jerry were the receivers on the all 90s.
Even on the all 90s team deserve to be in the Hall of Fame.
You were best at least for one decade. You were better than anybody.
This team deserve to be in the Hall of Fame.
I would bet that everybody on the all decade team is in the Hall of Fame.
I would bet they're not.
Oof. That's some homework I'll have to go do. I'm willing to bet anyone who made the all-decade team, and I'm not going to limit to sporting. I'm not going to listen to this.
I'm willing to double down on the pound that you owe me for the Chiefs not three-peating, and you can pull that list up. And I guarantee you every person on the all-decade team is not in the Hall of Fame. I mean, Sterling retired like 20 years ago. What took so long for him to even get this consideration?
Who knows why the Hall was dragging their feet?
Oh, okay, well,
who knows why the Hall was dragging?
They had their reasons, and I'm pretty sure it was probably got down to the extensive body of work that he didn't have.
So Antonio Gates, are you good with that? Was there an argument there? What about I mean, is Luke Kuechly, Torrey Holt, is he a Hall of Famer? Torrey Holt?
I don't think so. A lot of stats.
Did he win a championship?
He did. Back to back, went to the Super Bowl 2 times, back to back.
So, but you probably discounting that for some reason. So the fans are curious as to what reason you're using to.
I just didn't think he was a dominant receiver. I thought he played in a really good system, and he was really good in that system. I didn't think that Torrey Holt was a Hall of Fame receiver.
So he wasn't. Torrey Holt wasn't busting ass at North Carolina State.
That has nothing to do with the Hall of Fame.
Well, I'm just saying you didn't think he was. You thought he played in a really good system, so you think the same thing in North Carolina State. He was just in a really good system.
No, he was just a really good player playing college.
That's how they beat Florida State.
I don't know if you know this or not, Cameron, but you can really stand out in college because the other players aren't as good. And if you're really good, then yeah, you're way better than them. That's how college works.
Torrey Holt. I don't know what more Torrey Holt. I don't know what more you need to do. Luke Kuechly, is Luke Kuechly a Hall of Famer?
Fringe.
Shit. Eli Manning ain't gotten the Hall of Fame.
No.
Steve Smith is Steve Smith Sr. a Hall of Famer?
Close.
What do you mean close?
I mean close.
So what was the argument? What was the debate we just had? You're saying anybody? I'm saying anybody on the all-decade team.
Yeah, you're saying that everybody on the 90s all-decade team is in the Hall of Fame, and I said no, absolutely not.
Is Steve Smith? You say he's not are all MVPs just MVPs, league MVPs in the Hall of Fame?
No.
How can you be in the league MVP, dominate the season, and not be in the Hall?
Because you can have one really tremendous season, and that does not make for a tremendous career.
So let's see. I want to look at this. I'm gonna go down the line. I want you to tell me which one of these guys are not on the Hall of Fame.
Okay.
So I'm going back 5 years. Obviously, Josh Allen's not going to be in the Hall of Fame. Lamar, Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, 2011, 2020, not in the Hall of Fame. Lamar, Patrick Mahomes. So 2007, Tom Brady, 2017. Tom Brady's going to be in the Hall of Fame. Is Matt Ryan making the Hall of Fame?
Kind of answering your own question, huh? With your own research.
Will Matt Ryan make the Hall of Fame? Then we got Cam Newton. Will Cam Newton make the Hall of Fame? Aaron Rodgers, Peyton Manning, Adrian Peterson. Does Adrian Peterson make the Hall of Fame?
Absolutely.
Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, LaDainian Tomlinson. He's in. Does Shawn Alexander make the Hall of Fame?
We'll see.
I don't know. He played 20 years ago. It's been a long time since we heard his name even mentioned. Peyton Manning won it in 2004. Steve McNair, he wasn't gonna make the Hall of Fame, was he?
Nope,
Rich Gannon make the Hall of Fame.
don't think so.
Ooh, and that's just going back to 2020, folks. But this ain't the all-decade team. So 25%, 25% of the AP NFL most valuable players did not make it. Is that even five?
So you notice you said Aaron Rodgers 4 times. You notice you said Tom Brady 3 times. You notice that you said Peyton Manning 3 times. That's only 3 people, 10 MVPs.
So that's what I'm saying. That's what makes it a decent guess that if you win 10 of them,
I mean, not really.
Yeah.
No, I mean, they dominated the MVPs for that era, but if you take it back, it's not a guarantee.
Let me see. I'll go. What era we were talking about? The 90s.
Sure.
So 2000 Marshall Falk, Hall of Famer.
He's in the Hall of Fame.
Kurt Warner, Hall of Famer.
He's in the Hall of Fame.
Terrell Davis, a Hall of Famer.
He's in the Hall of Fame.
Barry Sanders, a Hall of Famer.
He's in the Hall of Fame.
Brett Favre, 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Steve Young, is he a Hall of Famer?
Hall of Famer.
Emmitt Smith, is he a Hall of Famer?
He's in there.
So Steve Young, so when in 92, Steve Young won the MVP. In 93, Emmitt Smith won the MVP. In 94, Steve Young won the MVP. I didn't realize he had two of them. Thurman Thomas, is he a Hall of Famer?
Should be if he's not in. I don't recall if he's in.
Yeah, I don't know if he's in. So let me see. Just tell me. I don't think he. Yeah, he's He's in the Hall.
Okay.
Yeah, he's in the Hall. So that's just the 90s. I mean, Joe Montana, Boomer Esiason, John Elway, Lawrence Taylor, Marcus Allen, Dan Marino, Joe Theismann, Mark Mosley. So 82, 83, I don't know if is Joe Theismann in? He probably made it in.
I think so.
No, he's not in. Joe's not in.
Okay.
So Mark Mosley. Nope, it don't look like he's in either. Mark Mosley was a kicker. Yeah, so no Theismann. So that was two. Ken Anderson. Is he in the Hall? I think he's in the Hall.
No.
Ken Anderson not in the Hall of Fame, but he won the MVP. These are all MVP. So you got three from the 80s. In the early 80s, Ken Anderson was. Brian Sight was 80. Ken Anderson, Mark Mosley, Joe Theismann, and then Marino. So from 80 was this 84 to 2000, 2001. Everybody who's won the MVP is in the Hall of Fame. So I'll give you a chance to rescind that bet.
No.
I got some homework to do, fans. Put me to work if I got enough. Vince Wilfork, is he a Hall of Famer?
No.
Richmond Webb, I think he might be in, right?
He might be in.
Reggie Wayne, is he a Hall of Famer?
Not yet.
Your guy, Ricky Waters.
Not yet.
You think Ricky's a Hall of Famer?
I think he is, but he's not in there yet.
For who? For what? Why would we put him in there?
Okay.
That'd be a disgrace. That'd be a disgrace to the NFL Hall of Fame if they put Ricky Waters in the Hall of Fame. What's your argument for Ricky Waters to be in the Hall of Fame?
Put up consistent numbers over time, Super Bowl champion.
Wait, so everybody who wins the Super Bowl gets in the Hall?
No. I said he put up consistent numbers over time, and he's a Super Bowl champion.
Ricky Rogers from the chalk.
Okay.
He's a chalk. Darren Woodson, he a Hall of Famer?
I believe so.
Hines Ward?
I think they're asking.
Huh?
I think they're asking the question. I don't think he's a Hall of Famer, but you know.
You don't think Hines Ward is a Hall of Famer?
Not really.
Did he win a championship?
Yeah.
Did he? Was he an integral part of those teams?
Sure.
Well, how is that not a Hall of Fame worthy?
Didn't really put up really big numbers. I didn't feel Hines Ward was really a game changer.
Because they were mainly a running team.
Okay. Well,
but
you asked me my opinion. I don't think Hines Ward is a Hall of Famer.
Well, and I would say you're wrong.
Okay.
So I would say you're wrong.
You're a lot more lenient with regards to getting into the Hall than I am.
Is Earl Thomas a Hall of Famer?
Absolutely.
You sure? His girl is not going to come in shooting up the Hall.
Well, I mean, that's part of the decision-making criteria. Then no, he's not a Hall of Famer. if you're talking about generational free safety, then yeah, he's in there.
Oh, but you don't want to talk about that other stuff.
He didn't get in. He didn't get in this year, so.
That's interesting. He says Sterling Sharp is not a Hall of Famer. I'm blown away by that, fans. Blown away by that. So do you guys want to see our scores? You want to see our score for the season? How we finished out the year?
It's entirely up to you. It looks similar to how it looked last week when you showed it, but it's fine.
Well, I mean, just if you just want to emphasize that I'm the best prognosticator on the show. So obviously that was our picks. We picked KC. We both picked KC. And this is how we finish things out the season. 72% to somebody 62% or 65% out of 280 games. Cleveland couldn't even get 200 right. That's pretty shameful for a so-called gambler, the gambler on the show. Our picks against the spread, he did win that category. He had a couple more picks against the spread better than I did, so he clearly won that category. What else do we have? That's it. So congratulations to Cleveland for that one. And then now let me show you guys. Oh, that's the only one of them I have up. I don't have the other one. I usually have the other one up that shows our confidence picks, but I'm winning that one too. It was just to kind of a moment to let Cleveland ask Cleveland how he felt about seeing those numbers.
Yeah.
Huh? How you feel about those numbers?
Hey, great job, man. You did your thing. Good for you.
So clearly, as you know, there was some. Oh, do you want to look at kind of what your picks were? Because now that we have the end of the season predictions, picks already made. You want to take it? We haven't looked back at that. Who'd you have for MVP? Do you recall?
No.
Well, you probably don't want to remember, do you?
I mean, it was 6 months ago, so it's somewhat inconsequential at this point, but we can check it out.
Although it is inconsequential, the fans still probably want to see how you voted things this season. So, MVP, Um, our prediction for 2024 MVP. I had Pat Mahomes. Rookie of the year. I had Jaden Daniels rookie of the year. Look at that. And I had Patrick Mahomes, T.J. Watt, and Andy Reid as the coach of the year. Cleveland had Eberflus. I don't think he made the season. Myles Garrett. Did he win Defensive Player of the Year?
He did not. They went with Patrick Surtain second.
Because last I heard, he was asking to be traded out of Cleveland. We'll see what happens there. C-Mac, who would that be?
That was Christian Jackson McCaffrey.
Oh, I know that guy, the kick returner.
Yep.
Got it. And yeah, that's how our picks went for the regular season in the NFL. I think I do have a rib dinner coming off of Caleb Williams because you had Caleb Williams winning the Rookie of the Year. Who actually won the Rookie of the Year, Cleveland?
That was Jaden Daniels.
Oh yeah, so you guys see there where he had the Rookie of the Year being C. Williams. Who would that be, Cleveland?
That would be Caleb Williams, Cameron.
Yeah. Looked like he better be trying to spend some time in Chi-Town versus doing any traveling this off season. What you think?
Yeah, he'll be okay. Thanks for asking.
You think so?
Yeah.
Cleveland, Kevin Durant eclipsed 30,000 points in the NBA. He's gotten there faster than everyone but who?
Wilt Chamberlain.
And there's another guy. He's third on the list.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Kobe Bryant.
No, you had it right. It was Wilt Chamberlain was one of them, but Michael Jordan was the other one. Yeah. So after the Nico Harrison got stuck up for Anthony Davis, walks into the locker room and is now talking about he has a abdominal tear and he's gonna need surgery. He might be out for some time. How are you handling this? What are you thinking about this?
It's unfortunate. He's always had the propensity for injury. He's always been a little bit fragile. So I feel for him, given that he's taken the brunt of all of the controversy that comes with getting traded for Luka Doncic, and the so-called franchise player is not going to be able to kind of show what he can do. So going to take even more punishment from the media and the fans. So it's unfortunate from that perspective for sure.
Wow. What do you think?
So we still have this screen thing up. Are we changing that?
Thank you. Let me remove that. Thank you. Where are the Lakers going? What do you think of Alex Lynn? Is he adequate replacement for your guy, Mark Williams?
Absolutely not. This is all they could find in a moment's notice.
So, I mean, how do you have these guys finish in the Western Conference?
Somewhere between 3 and 5.
Where do you have the Clippers finishing in the Western Conference?
Somewhere between 5 and 7.
What do you think about Joel Embiid need another injury?
Sounds like he needs another surgery.
Surgery, excuse me.
And yeah, that's unfortunate given how dominant he is when he's healthy, and clearly he's not healthy. Wondering why he actually participated in the Olympics if he wasn't feeling good, because it's lingered on into the NBA regular season. If he wasn't feeling good, he probably should have just not played. We'll see what happens with it.
Um, yeah, just he's not playing good. Paul George is not playing well. Maxi's the only guy out there having a real season. Playing in most of the games, etc. Um, they're in a world of hurt, a world of trouble. Um, and I don't know how they get better. How do they get better?
They don't. They just have to get healthier. I mean, Maxi's playing, some really good ball. Paul George is just kind of there. I don't really know how and where he fits in, but we'll see.
Yeah, I don't know if they were talking about Paul George getting traded in the by the trade deadline, but he didn't go nowhere. De'Aaron Fox goes for 24 points, 13 assists, one turnover in his Spurs debut. Looks like that thing's gonna work out.
Yeah, two talented players that are figuring each other out. It's unfortunate they didn't get more games in before the All Star break, so you lose a little bit of cohesion and chemistry there. But hopefully they can get it back. See if they can make the play-in tournament.
Jimmy Butler goes for 25, two rebounds, four assists, and I think most importantly probably is 11 for 13 free throws in his debut for Golden State. Looks like this is gonna work out.
Don't know quite what workout means to you, but we'll see if they get into the play-in tournament.
Well, yeah, playing because they're out of it right now. Playing tournament is about what you should be targeting if you were the Warriors. So yeah, I would think playing is a legit possibility. Let's see where exactly are they. I know that's off the top of my head. That's let me see. Golden State is number 10 right now. 27-26. They're number 10. So that's just maintaining their status if they went, if they made the playoffs or the play-in. They're number 10. That's just maintaining their status. Can they get above that? Can they get into the regular competition? They are the Clippers are number 6 at 29-23. That's 3 games out. Can they get the Clippers 3 games away? Can Golden State get the Clippers?
I don't think so, but we'll see.
What do you think about Brandon Ingram going to the Toronto Raptors?
Happy for him. He'll like it in Toronto. Everyone that goes there loves it there.
3 year, 120 mil. Oof, that's a crazy contract. Um, Cleveland, we got this on tap for you. What are you looking forward to most this weekend in NBA All Star Weekend?
Everyone to stay healthy, have a good time, enjoy themselves in the Bay Area. And we'll see how this, I guess probably the games that are the most competitive are the rookie game, rookie against the second year guys. So see how that goes.
With the winner getting a chance to play against the pros on Sunday.
Don't know what that means.
They get to play. They broke it down into 3 teams. Candace Parker is going to be coaching the 4 team. Whoever wins the rookies or the sophomore. So it's going to be a 4 team round tournament for the All Star game.
Oh,
You got it. So I think that'll infuse some the youth being there. They're not going to want to be out get dunked on by the veterans, right? They're going to be coming to try to show off their stuff. Um, and the veterans are not going to want to lose to the rookies. You know what I mean? Rookie, sophomore, whoever the veterans aren't going to want to lose to them. So they're going to be trying not to lose to them, right?
Sure.
Do you agree, or am I just blowing smoke?
I think you're just blowing smoke. It's still All-Star weekend. I mean, they understand it's, they maybe take it a little bit more serious because they haven't been very many times. I mean, the stars are only going to take it so serious.
Hmm. So who has the best team? Chuck the Global All Stars with SGA, Jokic, Donovan Mitchell, um, Pascal Siakam, Alfred Shingun, Carl Anthony Towns, Victor Wembanyama, and Trey Young, or Shaq's OGs, um, Brown, Brown from the Celtics, Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, James Harden, Kyrie Irving, Damian Lillard, Jason Tatum, LeBron James, or Kenny's young stars, Brunson, Cunningham, Anthony Edwards, Garland, Darius Garland, Tyler Hero, um, Jeffrey Jackson Jr., Eric Mobley, and Jay Williams. Who got the better team?
The first team you mentioned.
With Jokic and Alfred Shingun?
And Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. Yeah. And Victor Wembanyama.
Yeah, that was a nice trio, huh? I gotta see Vic live one day this season. Um, the storylines, like we still got storyline. We haven't talked about any new storylines. What you got new in the NBA?
I got nothing new in the NBA other than the changing landscape, and we'll see how things shake out once the chemistry gets a little bit more solidified. As you well know, after the All-Star game, it's a sprint to the finals, with the Western Conference being as unforgiving as it always is. So we'll kind of see how that kind of shakes itself out. I'm kind of interested to see if the Orlando Magic can kind of right the course. They were looking really, really good earlier, and they've fallen off somewhat dramatically the last 2 weeks. So see if they can get it back together.
Wow, ain't that something? Um, Cleveland, did you Benavidez Morale? You didn't see that fight. Stephen Fulton and Brandon Figueroa, you didn't see that fight. What about this weekend? You have Keyshawn Davis fighting on Friday night for a lightweight champion, Darius Brisnick. What do you think about this fight?
Oh, he's fighting on Valentine's Day, is he? How smart. That's wise. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. But no, I won't be watching.
Have you changed your mind on the rematch between Arturo Beterbiev and Dimitri Bivol?
No, it's fixed.
Or are you gonna go see um hold on. Well, are you gonna go see excuse me, your boy Tank Davis fights on March 1. Are you gonna see Tank Davis?
Who's he fighting, Cameron?
Lamont Roach.
No.
When do you tune in to see
Big
the
fight.
fighters you claim you like?
Fights. I'll tune in to see Crawford and Canelo. I'll be there.
You be there where? In front of the TV?
Maybe that one's in mid-September. Maybe there.
Man, if they fighting, I haven't got confirmation. If they fighting, yeah, that's a definitely start. You book that, start booking that today. Um, to come and watch that fight. When I went to go see him and Crawford Spence, There were people who flew in just for that fight and turned around and got on the plane and went back home. They just flew in just for the fight. I thought that was interesting. Nakitani fights Davian Celiar. Uh, excuse me, on 224. Are you interested in seeing that fight?
I am not. Thanks for asking.
The Dodgers reached a deal with Clayton Kershaw. You saw that?
Did.
How you like that move?
Love it.
I know you did. Your broken heart. Shohei's not ready to start pitching quite yet. Any concerns there for you?
Only if he starts pitching again.
Do you think he should start pitching?
No.
So you wouldn't let your guy go out and pitch if he wants to pitch?
He's not one of your aces, man. I mean, he's pretty good. I mean, maybe 3.5, 4 run ERA, but he does so many other things. But it's entirely. But again, that's what makes him unique and special at the same time. But it's a lot of stress on that elbow.
I mean, he could have pitched last year, but he decided not to.
No, actually, he could not have pitched last year. That's why he didn't pitch last year.
Yeah, there was a point where it was talking about him pitching in the playoffs.
Yeah, no, they were never really considering that.
So what else? What other thoughts you got about the big game? Oh, you didn't tell me your thoughts on Kendrick Lamar's concert on the halftime show.
Thought it was cool. To be perfectly honest with you, it was kind of, dare I say, average. I thought his performance when he was doing the West Coast thing with Dre was way better. I thought that his pop-up concert at the Crip House was way better. But, of course, there were so many people that you're having to please and sponsors and censors, and it was only going to get to be so crazy, right? So I thought from that perspective, he did a good job. I mean, you bring out, Serena C walking in front of everybody in New Orleans, that's kind of cool. You bring out Samuel L. Jackson. He didn't come out just for anybody. So he certainly flexed, on both of those accounts. And, you kind of did some stuff, and it was cool.
He was cool. Like, he was just all right. You said he was just average, low there.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a prevailing thought. I mean, but he had everybody was listening for, I think, not so much his his political thoughts and sayings, but they were just listening for the music, right? The bass line.
Yeah, and I thought that he chose to go with a lot of stuff off of his new album, which is great. Continue to promote that. I mean, obviously, it was the most eyeballs on the halftime show ever, right? So, that perspective, he did great. As far as a performance perspective, I thought the aforementioned performances that I said earlier, the West Coast with Dre and those guys was better, and I thought that the pop-up concert on Juneteenth was better. Cameron.
Yeah. We're gonna have to wrap this up, Cleveland.
Let's do it.
We're gonna have to wrap this up, man. Thank you for your time, fans. Thank you guys for your time tuning in. We're here in the Northwest. Make sure you guys check it out for the All-Star game. Did I ask you for the All-Star game, NBA All-Star game? What are you looking forward to, that All-Star game?
You sure did.
Not Sabrina Ionescu?
No.
And not Sabrina Ionescu. Do you need the comedian? What's the comedian? Kevin Hart, do you need him emceeing the All-Star game on Sunday?
Not really.
Do you heard that's what you're going to get?
I did not, but that doesn't surprise me. It's a big show. It's a big party, Cameron. They bring all the heavy hitters out. It's fun.
Once again, thank you guys for tuning in to the Voice of the Fans podcast. Give Cleveland a shout out. Thank you for your time, Cleveland. Holla at you soon, big dog.
All right, man. Take it easy.